Fourth regular session to order. At this time, I would like to ask for a moment of silence. All right, good morning, everyone. Just before we begin, I'd like to introduce our new journal clerk. We have Ms. Leila Sanchez, who will be assisting the delegation with any delegation matters pertaining to any sessions or meetings. So at this time, can I get a roll call, please?
Senator Hochberg. Co-Chair Manglonia Dalo.
Present.
Senator Manglonia.
Make it louder, Pancho.
Senator Manglonia.
Rocco.
Here.
Co-Chair Santos.
Here.
Co-Chair Sophie. Senator Hochberg. Co-Chairs, all three members are present, one member is absent.
With all three members present, that constitutes a quorum to conduct today's session. Please note that Senator Hochberg is hereby excused as he is a part of the committee that is currently having a public hearing on opinion. At this time, I recognize the clerk for the adoption of the journal. Oh, I'm sorry, floor leader. Motion.
Mr. Chairman, because I am attending the session on Zoom, I respectfully ask if, there's no objection, and if she accepts that Senator Santos for this session, be the acting floor leader, as he is there with you on Rota for this session. There's no objection?
No objection.
No objection.
So,
With no objection, I hereby recognize the acting floor leader.
a motion has been offered to adopt Rota Legislative Delegation Journal number 22-6, first day, first special session, July 1st, 2022.
Second. All in favor of
Second.
the adoption of the journal, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We now move on to the next item on the agenda, public comment. We invite any member of the public to register their comments. Please state your name, the entity you represent, and which item on the agenda you will be making the comment in regards to. The floor is open. Public comment.
Yep. Thank you. Where are we now, sir?
Oh, public comment
For
for any item on the agenda.
yes, I do have one comment for the Senate local bill, which is Julian Cabo.
Yes.
Just mase, just the budgeton no fashion fela kau illegal council atugo yung sa moro sa mga bago fo yung na atugo. Laji sinya pintu siam de kino sa moro din po siya in a nutshell, it's like in English, rabot consente. Inano si Joseph Inos, presidente ng Luta, huhungong na Paraguaha meeting Rota Legislative Delegation para masangan asunto po si Julian Cobo. Timawagang jo, timakumbida jo, tikumbidaw jo, matudo sa wa intereso na tauto at Julian Sunggaw Cobo. Utungo si Julian Cobo, mina matudo mawit para by aumentaging, manay mensahe, half masalangan na para matsugay na si Julian Cobo. Si Julian Cobo, tungo, dinalaan na giniguhon niya, sa Paguloki. Si Julian Cobo, honorable, na tao-tao, mafama na anya, tunguon na anya, dahil kung ang sangan Julian, gigaluta, masangan na sa Haji Julian, tinisisari ng sangan na diya pidido niya. Kaya siya matunguon na si Julian Cobo. Julian Cobo, uno no egefe na, manitbigi Islanduka. Ye 1961, matto si Julian Cobo gigaluta di na después mo eskwela di Guam Territorial College, mamanana di Rota High School. At tutun managi kwentas. Managi kwentas para i-6 grado kung uno na estudyante niya si Julian Cobo. Maka di sinapalabay kwentas dan mapud famino English at lali English tungo man fino English. So, inda si Julian Cobo di anay para mamanagi kwentas, hasangan niya algebra. Ikaw hasangan niya algebra para man malokti da hami di size grado man magufam sa tingo sa kanya algebra na palabra. Masya tingo hafasan halom niya, lo legya kumansangan ini algebra wal x. Siyempre man malokti amdo dengan sasangan algebra. Ana fan magufam ti Julian Cobo uno ki fena komino English da fanana gyama loki filo English wana mangwento sam leko like mommy don't talking to me because I don't speak English now ha regla mona filo English kum eskwela Guam ihiro eno si Julian Cobo bagod dia hulu ifamagun sa tada 8th grade igaluta 7th grade ha, sina dagay do di 6th grade. Just sinusangan algebra na malaki do. Eno mo na, tagino na tungun si Julian Cobo, bidurantin maganji para o Rota Municipal Council, 4 años na vida, matuto Rota Municipal Council. Yan ay man mapapasi tao 33 centavos ki ora, o sino mapapasi kininokanan head tax. Head tax siya, kada lahi kita luta, manihanti ni familia, dili na pasi peso gisakan, manuhudong siya man mang collection. Pos apapsi niya, dili dia na sweldo ini dengan tak kumpara. O septi sa gamina si Jus, nagawa ka na ng Rota Nexus Food, Rota Nexus Island. Ta kontinua mo naghilo si Julian Cobo exhibition niya, matuto gi Mariana Islands District Legislature, medyo mailihit por 4 años sa Silbig durante trust territory. Si Julian Cobo matuto durante trust territory, yan sinaha masina manggana bandang financial di Islam Guam, lo mas aguanta gi domano para luta po na juda. Yan ay matutuhon Commonwealth Government si Julian Cobo bisa finena magandi para senador di Islam luta in 1978 da continua to hasta 1988 10 años menor di hilo enigi si Julian Cobo ya socio siya kana todo klase department agency consultant hatsagi da morning dan raw dan distribution siya Julian Cobo finena na Senate President di Islam luta para i-member di Commonwealth Legislature. Ino siya mega panudo si Julian Cobo at tungo bandang giniusan, mamatina siya finakapiza di District 3, anagwaha siya asunto di pamilyana dan lopi, fina bandang relihon di mafanonan Rota Health Center. Ikarerana si Julian di Rota Health Center, pumami na dos daha faisindo kusina mama programa gini Rota Health Center da managwaha kapiza. Toda campo, toda salapi, da waha sinsya, medyo sinsya. Inseda un lugar, yan ay sinya mong proprio mahasa esti Rota Chapo, lo kana makul sa toda salapi. Bueno, insegita ini, nagwagi Rota Health Center umbanda fina more. Di kikit na more. Una nakalang icebox na more. Natangin matay patasogit, malatapo ulo di freeze. Tisinya dos. Okay, iplano wasagan generata. Generata nili on and off na contract territory na generata ko pwede apat sasagan on off. Ina suadi sagan generata 2 kwarto sa insapag impelo papa sa on off kana tisangan generata labas sa generata na anya. It's na lugar in Omentadi, in Gastadi, didi, yung bandana, dahil sanitation office, in the sewer sanitation office, Safa, malagatan na, waham mo. In gagaw siya sa publiko, mega siya na free no project, no mega siya na sa volunteer masugig ihilo publiko, yan para manaway ST mo. Lahafa mo, naguma dangin, toda, so nag-freeze, toda, hafta manuel para mapolo, ifinina na natsoge si Mr. Cobo, man-unam in San Diego, 2 na mo, dos na makinan mo na kada uno na kulang difference sinang poli dos na tao to na apaloko benag definina na negwang hananan mo law tinaho nga ino na best ito do inigi siya to julang kaw hatsoge inigi ya na parlamentado daw ga mas kinaskas gihilo eno anay matutuhon matsoge mega checho volunteer está bonito sa wawa hamo law hafa para mafanan imo ginin ikapitonya hanafatu volunteerio sa lapenya muon kulang katpeta dan kolonya di ke payo daga mapepega watugi ofananaan divine mercy chitonya si Julian Cobo hensgi da pega daga gaya ni man mafati tao managwaha ni kuna klasin no onro 14 anos malofan ginimpago gimalofan managwaha opening ceremony para Rota, Mort, Gamapolo, Divine Mercy. Man makuni todo man ampo. Dasina man omla 35 pat 4 na sila man Apolo gisan halom. Dangklo na onro matto si Bensinio Antonelli hanawa bendisyon pa man manhonggi reliyon katoliko. Dangklo na selebrasyon da ezge pawo na onro si Julian Cobo da inli nagwaha mga sinsyanya munagwaha esi gihalang imo na kadto to itawto gitano man manhungin nagwaju sa nagwafi na debosyon dan bendisyon anagwaha eligi dan soko na kanna si dangin waha sinamas apas pwede di pagpigi esti si Julian Cobo onraw hatungo no machocho respetado dan asentado linala niya. Dadangin todo si para tapesa siya kana tinahon si Julian Cobo ni para naya next na galon na premio kumabalik sa lapi misa lapi ginidin si Chode. Pues ginitaatan na hamiresi itauto na uwaha respeto niya o manay respeto sa kung raw na tauto tungon di sa luta. Sangan ha Julian tinisasaran ng sangan na pidido tungo ha di masasakan. Matuchi niya matungo si Julian Cobo onraw, respetaw, matungo ita luta. Ipaulo ki na si Julian Cobo durante nestigi siya wafi na debosyon na para manhonggi gini reliyon tatananay dangklo na agradecimiento si Julian Cobo dan pamilya na por nestigi siya da si bisyo na para ifasilidad luta dan lokal ito no ikamanweo. Diyos masi nestigi temporario na testimonio no pegang gini malago mapolo este como recuento ni na lanya si Julian Cobo sa maintrega ni sige na ang ganap na klase premio mas hamiresi Diyos masi.
Thank you, Mayor Ines, for your time this morning. The floor is still open for any comment from the public.
Thank you. For the record, my name is Ivan T. Merritt Jr. I'm a Boulder resident of the island of Rota. I just came to show my support for the introduction of bills, local bills, as well as the resolution to honor our people from Rota for their accolades and academics, as well as advancing the momentum of Rota forward. I thank you guys for honoring them. I do want to mention that it is within this document that the scholarship has been mentioned with the governors through the message. I just want to expound that after, and I thank the delegation for awarding, for giving us the appropriation for our students. The current situation that we're at right now, the status is that the board did visit Saipan on a couple weeks back, and their main purpose was to link with the Office of Finance, particularly just to establish the Munis account. because the new account now belongs to the chairman as opposed to the previous one was to the mayor. So a whole new route had to be established, and when that route is established, we plan to pay out housing and scholarship. And then again, we thank the delegation for always providing full support in that. I believe this is the third 150,000 that you guys have given our students. And I apologize, most of the members are still either working or have a prior obligation. I'm on leave, but I felt the need to come and thank the delegation for your hard work and commitment to our students in the academic field. Moving on to the one of the touch bases with Ms. Liz Balahaja, I just want to announce that in my current capacity, even though I'm on leave, I sit as the mayor's CIP coordinator. I do want to expound that a lot has happened since that letter has been written. I want to thank Liz on the record and Resident Director George Atlick for sitting down and compiling a list of items. Now, at the request of the mayor, we had to relook at all the equipments that came in for DPW, and we thank the Office of Capital Improvement for reaching out to us and helping us. Again, this money, if it were to come to the delegation, I believe the greater system that we have that's currently on the market, and again, we have to take into account the current situation of metal and how metal is exchanged in the global market. So a greater for our municipality will cost around 500,000. But again, these are money not coming from the delegation, coming from outside source to, and I see the importance. You guys are prioritizing the way you dispense. So again, Liz has been very helpful with the municipality. We look forward to working with her. We do have on the paper a couple of projects that are coming out. I believe you're aware of the Asmatmas and Ponya Point 2 facility projects, including the West Harbor Road and restroom. Those are going to come into line, and we thank Liz for helping us find the funding. I will be present and sitting if any question needs to be asked, and I thank you for your time. Jesus Mas. Again, the record, my name is Ivan T. Mayor Jr., President of Rota. Jesus Mas.
Thank you, Chairman. Floor is still open. All right. If there's no one else from the public, at this time, I would like to recognize the floor leader for the suspension of rules to accept communications.
Motion is offered for the suspension of pertinent rules to include those agendas or items not appearing in today's calendar for action. So moved.
Second. The motion has been made to suspend pertinent rules and has been seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We now move on to the next item, introduction of local resolution. And I recognize Senator Santos.
Thank you, Co-Chair. So introducing local resolutions number 22-1 all the way to 22-6. Council, is it okay not to, let's just read them out because anyways they're on the agenda, no? And also to introduce Rota legislative resolution number 22-10. And this is to honor and recognize the life and years of public service of the late Helen Cabarrocani as a law enforcement officer. If there's no objection by the members and if the rule allows, I would like to move that this resolution number 22-10 be placed on the resolution calendar for today's action. So move.
All right, second, a motion has been made to place resolution
No objection.
22-10 on today's resolution calendar. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Any other resolution by any member? If there's none, we move on to the next item, which is messages from the governor, and I recognize the clerk.
Co-chair, we have three on our agenda. Governor's communication number 2212, 2213, and 2214.
All right. Any discussion on
Ready?
governor's communication?
Ready.
None.
Moving on to the next item, we have none for messages from the mayor, none from the council, none from departments and agencies. I recognize the clerk for communications from the house.
Co-chair, we have three. House Communications 2210, 2211, and 2212.
Any message,
Ready?
comment?
Ready?
Ready? We move on to the next item. We accept.
Place the bill. Oh, okay, that's right.
All right, recognize the floor leader for the proper motion.
Thank you, co-chair, and if there's no objection by the members, I would like to place, what are- I would like to. Two, right? I would like to place, House Local Bills 22-39 to appropriate $50,000 from the Rota Municipal Scholarship Foundation Reserve Account and for other purposes. And also House Local Bill 22-12 transmitting for, House Local Bill 22-40, to appropriate $50,000 from the poker licensing fee account and for other purposes to be placed under the bill calendar for action. So moved.
Second, discussion on the motion. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
And also, Chair, one more, I'm sorry, to place Senate Local Bill. No, it's already.
Yeah,
Oh,
the next one.
okay.
I now recognize the clerk for communications from the Senate.
Co-chair, we have 9 Senate Communication number 22-20 through 22-28.
Thank you, clerk. I recognize the floor for the proper motion.
Thank you, co-chair. If there's no objection by the member, I would like.
Can I comment on the Senate communication?
Okay.
Okay. Recognize Senator Manalonia.
Well, it's not really in this item, but I just want to inform the delegation members that there's a concern for the delegation. I think the Rota delegation members have to be concerned with what the Commonwealth Election Commission is doing. And I emailed earlier to our delegation clerk a copy of the letter that I sent this morning to the Commonwealth Election Commission, because what they're doing, they are unfairly targeting Rota absentee voters. In my letter, I showed that 20% of the absentee voters in Rota were challenged by the Commonwealth Election Commission, while on Saipan, they challenged 13% and on Tinian, 15%. And my letter basically is telling them that the way they handle this challenges at this 11th hour is very unfair, unreasonable, and it goes again. It is very arbitrary, untimely, and capricious, incomplete, and there's actually no due process. And so I asked the clerk to print that out and give you later or as soon as he prints it. But I just want to comment on that. I hope that the members can read that letter. If there's a way you can communicate to our election commission, here they go again, a month before the election starts screening and unfairly targeting Rota absentee voters. If they're going to insist that their process is fair, then why don't they do it to everyone? Why do they target certain voters and not apply the same criteria across the board, across the Commonwealth? So I hope Joan, our delegation clerk, is able to print that and provide you a copy of that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members.
Thank you, Senator Manalonia. Well, before I recognize the floor leader, I'll recognize again the clerk to include that communication on today's agenda.
Senate Communication 2229.
Thank you, Senator Manalonia. The communication has been marked as 22-29. At this time, I recognize the floor for the proper motion.
Thank you, co-chair. And so if there's no objection by the members, motion, for the placement of Senate Local Bill 22-15 to name the Rota Health Center Divine Mercy Chapel to Julian Escalvo Divine Mercy Chapel in recognition and appreciation of his exemplary service and significant contributions to the municipality of Rota and to the people of the Commonwealth, and for other purposes to be placed on the final reading and today's meal calendar. So moved.
Second, discussion on the motion.
Ready?
All those in favor say
Chairman, no discussion, no objection, thank you.
okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say
Aye.
nay. Motion carries. We now move on to the next item, delegation matters, and I recognize the clerk.
Co-chairs, we have 11, delegation matters number 2267 through 2277.
Thank you, clerk. Discussion? Ready? We now move on to miscellaneous communication. Recognize the clerk.
Co-chair, we have 3 on the agenda. Miscellaneous communication 2226, 2227, and 2228.
And with the additional, let me say,
Yeah.
22, the 2 additional that was sent yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
also Kana's 128. Okay.
2228.
Okay, with that, by accepting miscellaneous communication, we agree to the adoption of the list of new patients under the condition that the 2 most recent submission will be pending certified copy from the doctor. All right, if members are okay with that, we'll
Ready?
move for the
Adoption of the resolution.
we'll take a vote on the acceptance of miscellaneous communications. Recognize floor leader.
On which one?
Okay.
Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous communication 2220. For the acceptance of miscellaneous communication 2228, medical assistance allowance certifications and documents for delegations review, discussion and action. So move.
Second, discussion on that motion.
Ready?
Ready? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We have no reports of committee, none under unfinished business. We now move down to the resolution calendar, and I recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Mr. Co-Chair. For the adoption of Rota Legislative Delegation Commemorative Resolution 22-1 to honor and commend Stephania and Susan Atalik-Romali for over 35 years of selfless service in the nursing profession within the CNMI healthcare field. So moved.
Second, a motion was made for the adoption of commemorative resolution 22-1. Has been seconded. Discussion on the motion.
Ready?
Ready? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Recognize the floor leader.
For the adoption of commemorative resolution 22-2 to honor and commend Damian J. Holbrook Catholic for his recent bravery, courage, and selfless act to save the life of another. So moved.
Second, discussion on that motion.
Ready?
Ready? All in favor of adopting commemorative resolution 22-2, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We now move on. I recognize the floor leader.
Commemorative resolution 22-3 for its adoption to honor and commend Tyreek Castro for his heroism, bravery, courage, and selfless act to save the life of another. So moved.
Second, any discussion on the motion?
Ready?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Commemorative resolution 22-3 is hereby adopted. Recognize the floor.
For the adoption of commemorative resolution 22-4 to honor and commend Mamet Malonia for his heroism, bravery, courage, and selfless act to save the life of another. So moved.
Second, discussion on that motion.
Ready?
Ready? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 22-4 is hereby adopted.
The last
And
resolution,
recognize Ellen, or Floria.
thank you, Co-Chair. The last resolution for the adoption of Rota Legislative Resolution number 22-10 to honor and recognize the life and years of public service of the late Helen Cabrera Cani as a law enforcement officer. So moved.
Second, discussion on that motion.
Ready?
Ready?
All in favor, say aye.
Yeah, okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 22-10 is hereby adopted. Recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Co-Chair. I'm sorry. We have two more resolutions here for the adoption of Rota Legislative Commemorative Resolution number 22-5 to honor and congratulate Doralyn Apiti Barcinas upon the occasion of her selection as the 2022-23 Teacher of the Year for Dr. Rita H. Inus, Junior Senior High School. So moved.
Second, discussion on that motion.
Ready?
Ready? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 22-5 is hereby adopted. Recognize the floor.
Now, the last resolution, resolution number 22-6, Rota Legislative Delegation Resolution, that is to honor and congratulate Mrs. Jennifer Yalung upon the occasion of her selection as the 2022-2023 Teacher of the Year for Sinapalo Elementary School. So moved.
Second, discussion on that motion.
Ready? Ready?
Ready? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 22-6 is hereby adopted. We now move on.
Mr. Co-Chair, if you can take a break or recess so we can present the resolution for the late Helen Canny. The family are here, so.
Okay, Senator Mangolia and to the viewing public, we'll take a short recess to present the resolution to the family of Ms. Helen.
We don't have
thank you, members, and thank you to the family of the late Helen Connie. We will now rise back to our delegation session. Just before our recess, we adopted all resolutions and presented the resolution to the family of the late Helen Connie. And we now move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the local bill, and I recognize the floor leader.
Okay, thank you. Co-chair, we have. It's under House Communication. For the passage of House Local Bill 22-33D1, so moved.
All right, second. Is that?
Huh? Oh, it's 39? It's not 36? 39?
No, it's Senate local.
Okay. Oh, I thought it's a House Local Bill. The
No,
appropriation, right?
hold on.
Okay, so a correction on the number is House Local Bill 22-39 D1. Motion for its passage, so moved.
Second at this time.
Chair, just clarification. Why is it a D1?
No,
No,
that
it's
was
not a
the
deal?
governor's message.
Oh, okay. All right, so let me go back on record and correct that. So motion to approve House Local Bill 22-39, so moved.
Second.
Caution,
Yes, and
what's the bill numbers 22-39?
yes.
And that, can you read the title, please?
To appropriate $50,000 from the Rota Municipal Scholarship Foundation Reserve Account.
I'm missing some pages here. See, I'm missing some pages on the agenda. And where's the other? Oh, okay.
Senator, you got that clarification?
Yes, okay, thank you, got it.
All right, but before we act on it, I'd like to make an amendment to correct the amount after receiving the fund status report from Secretary of Finance or his designee. I'd like to make a motion to amend the 50,000 to 24,000, let's do 24,500.
24,500, okay.
All right, so move.
Second,
Second, discussion?
All those in favor of the amendment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Back to the main motion. Recognize the floor leader.
Thank you. For the passage of House Local Bill 22-39 to appropriate $24,500 from the Rota Municipal Scholarship Foundation Reserve Account for other purposes, so moved. Draft one.
second,
Okay, all those in, all those in favor of the adoption, say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 22-39, draft one hereby passes. I recognize the floor leader.
For the passage of House Local Bill number 22-40 to appropriate $50,000 from the vocal license fee account and for other purposes, so moved.
Second. And then on the same token, to amend that amount to 10,000 due to the recent fund status report we received from the Secretary of Finance or his designee. However, just to add on to that, we do have fund balances from prior appropriations that will be combined with this appropriation for
How much?
distribution.
Altogether?
10,000.
10, okay.
All right, and so
For the
I
passage,
move for that amendment. Let me get a second.
second.
All right, motion was made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Back to the main motion, and I recognize.
For the passage of House Local Bill 22-40 in the form of 22-40 draft 1 to appropriate $10,000 from the poker license fee account under and for other purposes. So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. 22-40, draft 1 hereby passes. Recognize the floor leader.
For the passage of Senate Local Bill 22-15 to name the Rota Health Center Divine Mercy Chapel to Julian S. Calvo, Divine Mercy Chapel, in recognition and appreciation of his exemplary service and significant contributions to the municipality of Rota and to the people of the Commonwealth and for other purposes. So moved.
Second, discussion on the motion.
Ready?
Discussion?
Yes.
Discussion?
Yes.
I just want to thank Sir Santos for introducing this, but most especially also our former mayor for taking the time to join us in today's session. I really appreciate his presence there and explaining, some of the history and leadership role that former Senate President Julian Calvo has played in our municipality. I think he deserved this as well as other honors that we will be extending to the former Senate President. I would like to also consider in the future in the street naming process that is taking place to possibly also include a street naming after him. And of course, also let us be mindful that there are other leaders that we do need to recognize, such as our former mayor, the Mazota, Anman Loki Asepi, ito na gimanagwag yung susunod na session na street naming na commission o tutun man recognize this naman naman as well as the delegation. Something that we should seriously consider to look at also naming other facilities because I consider the former Lieutenant Governor Benjamin and Mayor Enos and former Senate President Julian Calvo as the pioneers of Rota, as well as other leaders under the Trust Territory government. So, complete still okay in the future. The Constitution that recognizes this, Moligisti para manatati from Magunta, o makomprende o matungo na storya. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Senator.
Ready?
Thank you, Senator Magnolia. Ready? For this, can I get a roll call, please?
Senator Magnolia Paul,
Yes.
Co-Chair Magnolia Donald,
Yes.
Co-Chair Santos.
Yes.
Co-Chair, so 3 members present voted yes.
With 3 members voting in the affirmative, Senate Local Bill 22-15 hereby passes. Floor?
Miscellaneous business.
All right, we have that takes care of all items under the resolution and bill calendar. We now move on to miscellaneous. Any member?
Ready?
At this time, I just want to recognize the chair for the Rota Municipal Scholarship Foundation, who came in earlier and provided his comments to various items on the agenda. I do want to acknowledge that we did receive his letter requesting to meet. However, due to the members' availability being on island, we weren't able to have that schedule. But hopefully, within the next week or so, we can sit down with the chairman of the scholarship board to hear out some of the proposals that he had, as well as address any concerns he may have. So, since he's still here, I just wanted to mention that for the record. And so with that, any other members? Under announcements, we do have the Veterans Memorial Service that will be at the Corporal Joe Junior Gobi Charters Veterans Memorial Park on November 11th, 10:30 p.m. or 10:30 a.m. So if you guys are available, please attend this service. Any other announcements? If there's none, I move down to the next item on the agenda. I recognize the floor for the proper motion.
Motion for the adjournment of this session, subject to the vote of the co-chair. So moved.
All right. Second, motion was made and seconded. All in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carries. The session is hereby adjourned at 10:58 a.m.
Okay.
All right, thank you.